What is Down Syndrome Regression Disorder? This video will attempt to answer this question and offer information and help to others. Let's backtrack a little and ask the question, what is Down syndrome? Well, it is possibly the most common cause of genetic intellectual disability worldwide and occurs in 1 in 800 to 1,000 live births. For example, there are more than 214,000 people with Down syndrome living in the United States and 417,000 in Europe. And obviously, other countries have individuals with Down syndrome. So, what exactly is Down Syndrome Regression Disorder, DSRD? DSRD is a condition that causes regression in individuals with Down syndrome, leading to the loss of skills they've gained over time, such as speech, mobility, or independence. In years past, individuals with Down syndrome and their caretakers were basically told that this was just part of the path for them, that there was no real help or cure for this problem. Often, they were told that it is early onset Alzheimer's, or it's just what happens to people with Down syndrome. There was a term called URDS. This stood for the Unexplained Regression of Down syndrome that was tossed around. Dr. Brian Chicoine and his team at the Adult Down Syndrome Center in Illinois have been studying regression in individuals with Down syndrome for several years. In 2019, Dr. Chicoine co-authored a publication titled Regression in Adolescents and Adults with Down Syndrome, which contributed to the understanding of this condition. Around 5 years ago, Dr. Jonathan Santoro, a pediatric neuroimmunologist at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, became instrumental in advancing the understanding and treatment of DSRD. Since 2019, he and other leading doctors have developed an experimental treatment protocol that includes high-dose steroids and an immunotherapy called intravenous immunoglobulin, IVIG. In 2022, an international expert consensus led by Dr. Jonathan Santoro established standardized nomenclature, diagnostic workup, and criteria for what is now termed Down Syndrome Regression Disorder, DSRD. Preliminary findings suggest that DSRD may have an inflammatory component, as some patients exhibit inflammatory markers in their cerebrospinal fluid and respond positively to immunotherapies like IVIG. For anyone dealing with regression-type symptoms in an individual with Down syndrome, there are several places to find help and information. One place to start is at the National Down Syndrome Society's website. And here is the direct link to the Down Syndrome Regression Disorder checklist. There is also a very active Facebook group called Regression in Down Syndrome that is an amazing resource of information and connections with others who are dealing with DSRD. Here is the direct link to that page. As mentioned earlier in this video, there is a clinical trial study going on. The links to find out more are found here. The following screen shows the flyer for this clinical trial study. My oldest daughter and I have a website called Got Down Syndrome. It can be found at the link on this page and in the description below. This is an older site, and although it doesn't have direct information about DSRD, it does cover a lot of other information regarding Down syndrome. We have recently added a journal section to try to update with information for others as we walk this new road of DSRD. Here is the link to that page. Oh, one last thing about the blue and yellow colors and symbols found throughout this video. The blue and yellow ribbon is a widely recognized symbol for Down syndrome awareness. Some say they symbolize hope, positivity, and unity within the community. Recently, a new symbol for DSRD has been made. The same blue and yellow colors for Down syndrome awareness. The arrows going down due to regression. The arrows going up with hopeful recovery. The heart for the love we have for our kiddos with Down syndrome. As one mother said, the arrows going all over is a perfect example of how it is living with this disorder. Many have traveled this road before us, and now we find ourselves on a path we never expected. With ongoing research, we hope the journey becomes a little smoother for those who follow. And maybe someday, it will be a journey that no one ever has to take again.